And good afternoon, folks. So Warp103 bringing you another video. This time here we're going to do another comparison video to t34 and does it need a buff? So of course, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I'm gonna have to rain down a godly firestorm on you.
And thank you for viewing this video. If you like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking the icon above, and then of course hitting the bell icon to get notifications when the next video drops. So here we go. We're gonna look at the stats of the T34, and again, the question is, does it need a buff? All right, no, we got the new modern hotness tanks in here: the Defender, of course, the Patriot, and the Biscante. Whatever the hell the new tank is. And again, these are all heavies, and you can see straight off the back, you know, people complain about the Defender having bad DPM, but the T34 DPM is just absolutely god awful trash. Then you have, of course, the Patriot with very good DPM, but you can see in the class normally, you know, I can go further. It's like that you know, other tanks that I have, but these are considered on the low end, and considering that the Biscante is an autoloader, Defender again, just crazy stupid armor. So having a DPM below these two is just madness. It's just straight up and down madness. But Warp, it has super high no. You're talking about standing around so that the penetration is on the high side. I'm gonna grant you that and everything else to that. But then when you load gold for these other things like that, the gold penetrations for these other tanks compared to the T34 makes it, again, crap. So, you know, they've got a pretty good penetrations like that, but I'm not gonna call it epic because again, you have T30 is enough to go through most tanks and everything else like that. So, you know, it only helps you in the higher tiers, but after that they could basically all get blasted to the face. Now again, this reload time is just absolutely ridiculous. When your reload time is actually longer than, you know, some other things and everything else, time to go. So then you look at the caliber. Now again, since it's not a 122, it does have partial overmatch over certain things, but again, it's not a 122 that you know is definitely going to have overmatch. And then you look at the shell velocity. Shell velocity, bottom of the barrel again. Sadness. Then you go to the ammo capacity, so meaning your potential damage. Only the Defender actually has a lower damage quotient than this, and that's just because of the limited amount of shells. And again, I really think the Defender needs about 5 more shells. But even if it had the same amount of shells, so that, you know, the Defender would actually have a better potential damage. So again, that's crap. Now we're going to go down to the gun handling, and again, look at the gun handling of the Defender. Even though dispersion is terrible compared to the other one, so that his gun handling is just oh, you move the tank and everything else of that. T34 basically says Defender's like Patriot's like Biscante is like So yeah, gun handling wise, again, your dispersion is good. You can make this dispersion go really great, but again, your aim time is long as hell. You have bad on the move gun stats. Just overall the gun handling for this is really poor. Then you're like, well, it's a T34. You would figure it's like that. As tall as that tank is, it would have good gun elevation. Nope. It does have good gun depression at 10. Equals the Patriot and the Biscante and something, but it's just overall the gun handling on this tank is more than just awkward. It's just downright just bad. You know, it's just what it is. Okay, so let's go to the speed. Now again, not one of your speedy boys. 35 maximum. What makes it worse is your reverse speed. So meaning that it takes forever in the day for you to back out if you side scraping to take a shot. So while you're backing out, and you'll see it in the game, it's like that I get punished every time I back out because my reverse speed is so slow backing out. So when I back out to get that shot off, I get popped because my results are so slow. Look at all the rest of the guys. And then you go down to the terrain resistances. Big oof. Now again, this is not a tier limited tank. This sees tier 10s. So for you to have this so goddamn bad, does this thing need a buff? Hell yes. Now, everybody's gonna put the armor so well. Okay, hold on. Now, I want you to look at the whole armor versus the Defender, versus even the Patriot, versus the Basante. It's crap. Tier 6s can penetrate the hull of this tank. Now again, don't get me wrong, the turret armor is awesome. Oh wait, except if you actually hit it up here, because the roof is overmatchable by tier 8s and up. So you like, oh, but you're hull down, you're great. No, but they can overmatch your roof easier. They can overmatch your roof easier in the T34 than they can inside of the Defender, because there's a lip that you have to hit on the roof of the Defender or the penetrator, and you got to hit it just right. Whereas with the T34, it crowns up and it basically says, hit me here. And it even has a little thing right there that pushes up and says, ooh, hit me right there. Pin every time. You cry every time. So yeah, and of course camera rating, yeah, it's tall as a house and everything else. That so no, it has no camera rating. Now I do get view range again when you compare to the versus Defender. Oh yeah, it's good, but when you compare to a new tank that just came inside the game to the Patriot, yeah, this thing is crap. You know. Now again, I can see if this was tier limited, meaning that it only seen tier 9s, then you can justify some of this stuff. But lowly, again, category 1, bad. Category 2, bad. Category 3, bad. Category 4, it's good right there. So I'm going to say okay. Category 5, bad. I mean, Jesus. So let's go to the gameplay and everything else so you can take a look at this and you judge for yourself. All right. Now, you've seen the stats. I didn't put the stats in for the last thing. I don't only compare to the guard for one of the other ones, but this one here, you know, I wanted to go in depth because again, there's a lot of tanks that have been introduced inside here that basically make the T34. It's no good. It's not. I mean, it used to be a good thing. So you used to be able to do a lot of good different things with it and everything else like that, but now it's not any good anymore. Now you're gonna be like, it's like that, but Warp. Why do you feel that way? Well, let me show you right now. Now, basically, I'm gonna go straight across because it actually works better from this side. Yes, I know I'm taking a risk right here. That's just nope, what you have to do. Because being on the side where the T29 is can work, but it doesn't work as well as being here. Now, you see me, this is what I'm talking about. Now, you see me backing away from a wall. You see how long it takes to back up in this thing and everything like that? Now, again, I'm bouncing tanks. Now, I'm going for that SU because I need to get a guy that basically can, if he chose to use HE or, you know, if he hits me the wrong way, that's a powerful ass beating you can take with that tank destroyer. So I'm ammo racked, and it's fine. Again, this is one of the strengths that it has and everything. It's meaning that I can go, you know, from this side here, I'm literally hauled down. My lower plate is covered. Only thing you can see the top. Now, thankfully, these guys here don't know what they're doing. Because if they did, I'm showing you right now. You can look at the roof right here and select. You see that big hump right there? Literally, if you shoot that hump, easy games. He just shot the hump. Easy games. Now it doesn't show in the replay right the way it's supposed to show that, but again, you can see the viewport right there. Weak spot. You can see right over in that section line where the thing's sticking up at. Weak spot. At the top right there, weak spot. Now if they're aiming for, you know, the cheeks and everything else like that, if they're aiming for the you know, the front of the plate right here, so that the mantlet, yeah, you're going to get some hilarious bounces. Now again, I'm not pointing at these guys and everything else. I'm just, again, showing you that this is what you have to do. You have to basically try to bait them to shoot you. Again, your backward speed is crap. So you have to bait, wait for the shot, and then make your shots. If you can. But the problem is your aim time is long as hell. And I'm actually using skills, and I believe I'll show a picture of my skills and everything else like that, so you can actually see. Now look how long it takes to aim. I mean, Jesus H Christ. Now any other thing so that, you know, take so that, you know, you can basically get that aim off much quicker. You be able to hit that shot. Now, I am thankful that the IS-3 that was basically clobbering me from that corner over there moved over to the far side of here. Now again, waiting. Now again, it hits hard. Don't get me wrong, but the reload time for what you get is just not enough. Now, so me, I think this thing needs a buff in, several areas. Gun handling stats need to be really need to be fixed a lot, and the DPM needs to be brought up to, again, at least baseline of everybody else's, which is like 2,100, 2,200, to make this thing more viable. Now again, I'm facing lower tiers. I'm not facing an all tier 8 crew. If I was facing all tier 8 guys, I guarantee you I'd be dead. I guarantee you. Why? Because tier 8 guys can literally, hit you right at the top. They'll literally be able to pin up here and like that, because they'll have, again, right there, they'll be able to pin there all day long. Only lower tier tanks cannot do it. And again, but if my hull was exposed, the tier 6s and the tier 7s literally will be able to pop me in the lower plate. So I'm basically just biding my time right here. I've had a lot of battles in this thing, and I mean a lot of battles. So therefore, I know I'm not an inexperienced person when it comes to this thing here, and I'm only 50% overall in this thing, even though I think I got close to 500 battles. It might be even more than that. I'll have to look. But seriously, this is crazy. I'll actually post again a screenshot of my loadout, and I'll actually tell you how many battles I have inside it when I show the post game. But again, and I'm loving this guy. Now look, just look. What? That's a tier 6. I'm hitting place. Now again, I could have shot him more near the face and everything else like that, but I'm going for, the flattest armor that this guy has. Now again, look how slow it is for me to go backwards. So don't think this performance is really epic. Again, I'm getting a good score and everything else of that. But again, you have to remember that I have lower tiers shooting at me. Now imagine this in a tier 10 battle. This would be dead. In a tier 9 battle, because again, everybody in a tier 9 can overmatch my roof. Even light tanks can overmatch my roof, because of the way it is and everything else of that. There's a weak spot right over the top and everything else of that. Technically, it's not really an overmatch. It's basically just a weak point in the armor that can be exploited. Now you're probably wondering, why am I not pushing up right now? So that because I got the mission done and everything else, and I wanted to get it done with honors. All I have to do is basically survive, and live, and I have basically 300 health, which is still killable by artillery. Artillery can hit me and so they basically take me out the game, and I will not miss mission. So the question is, does this need a buff? And the answer to that question is yes, in at least 2 categories. Technically speaking, I really think it needs a buff in 3 categories, but gun handling, it definitely needs a buff. DPM, it definitely needs a buff. Maneuverability, it'd be nice, but I can understand why people might not do it, but at least those 2 there, it really, really, truly needs a buff. Well, let's look at the post game and everything else, and I'll show my... Let's look at the post game and I'll show my actual loadout for this thing. Alright, now as you can see right here, I'm using ventilation, rammer of course, and everything else, and I'm using the aiming one. Now you're probably like, why the hell are you using the aiming one instead of using verse stabs? Because again, my gun stats are so horrible that verse stab just doesn't work enough for me. Now again, this is a crew that's at least 3 full skills and almost to his 4th skill completely. So again, this is not no crew that's just been, a garbage stowaway crew for that. This is one of my better crews and everything else that, and again, you can see I'm only 50% overall inside of this tank. So if I go to statistics and everything else that, and you go to the t34, I have almost 800 battles inside this thing. I thought it was 5, I'm not mistaken. I have almost 800 battles inside of here. So this tank has been through the ringer and everything else, and it's just not epic, you know, the way it is. I mean, now again, you'll have people that be like, oh, but the tank is great and everything else of that. Again, if it works for you, great and everything else of that. But for most people, if you actually look at the statistics for this tank, it pretty much blows overall. All right, so again, got mission 12 of the 55A done and everything else of that. So that's really what I was looking forward to and everything else of that. Wrong way. Again, you can see only a class 2 and everything else that got these steel walls and then, you know, a bunch of the shell proofs and everything else of that. So 2,500 again, 2,600, and I'm again facing lower tiers that couldn't pin me, so I was able to get favorable bounces. Now it came top of the class and everything else, which is great, you know, and always helpful and everything else. That their top was the Thunderbolt and the IS-3. Again, thankfully the IS-3 moved over to the side I was on, because that made my life a hell of a whole lot easier. You know, overall, this does make a bit of cash and everything else that, but again, this tank needs help. This is my opinion. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this another preview of a tank. And again, this is doesn't need a buff. This is Warp103 saying warp out, have fun. We'll catch you on the next one. Please, of course, hit that like, subscribe button, and of course, you know, leave feedback, comments in the comment section. Thank you guys. Time to warp out.